morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is ShockWavee, and we're here for episode 2 of Meet the Splat creators. And I'm joined here by NEGUS. How we doing?
Yo, what's going on, man? How's everything? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just got done yelling my head off at solo for 4 games, so you know that's always fun.
Yep. It's excellent. All right. So we're just gonna go straight into this. Get these first few questions out of the way because kind of stock standards for any Splatoon interview you ever do. So we'll just get them out of the way. And you've been doing a lot of interviewing and podcasts on other people, so we want to hear how you began and what hooked you to Splatoon.
What hooked me to Splatoon? Well, how I began, I would say, is I was really bad in Splatoon 1. Like, I was having a lot of trouble getting out of B.
Yep.
And that was when I was finding out through Reddit how to, play the game. I was watching Zach Scott to try to get better at the game.
Yep.
I did not know that there was a lot more to the game at that point in time. So I actually looked on Reddit. I was trying to find people to, play with so that I can learn the game, get better at it.
Yep.
And then that's how I basically got into competitive. And then it was like a long slog of a bunch of teams to learn, the game actually. It took years of me being really bad until finding snipers and actually getting a little bit better. So then for competitive, it was just that really. Practicing and
I know a lot of Australian people have actually found the game through Zach Scott Gaming.
Seriously?
Yeah, a lot of people just watch their YouTube videos. I know one of my old teammates said, this guy looked garbage at the game, and I just want to be better at him than the game. So he just picked it up and played the game and got better.
Wow, that's a big claim.
I mean, he does a lot of different games, and he wouldn't get competitive in a specific game. So it probably wouldn't be that hard if you just singled into Splatoon and decided to get better, to be better than that.
So I was so just to fill you in a little bit more. So I didn't start I would say that I think when it started clicking was when I found a decent team. For competitive wise. I feel like that's everybody. It was really hard at first. So I was doing a lot of really searching, and I wasn't able to go to any tournaments at that point in time because I don't even know why. But
local ones or online?
Local, not local, but LAN events. I just never really I don't know why I didn't go. I just didn't for some reason. Oh wow, nice. But so then I started really getting into the competitive community when I got on West Coast, which was just, it wasn't anything special. We did decent, but nothing really crazy. Then I got into Splatoon 2, and then I absolutely hated competitive because of how they changed the game.
From Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2, or just in
Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2. Because I was a sniper, and it just felt weird with the input lag and stuff like that. And I wasn't really doing content at that time. I was just doing comp. I didn't start content until I think it was SS, to be honest with you.
I feel like if you did content as a sniper, you were always going to be popular because everyone was looking for at least half decent sniper players in Splatoon. That's the way.
In Splatoon, it was a lot. It was easy getting on teams if you were a half decent sniper. It was. So I didn't start getting into content, which was streaming only. I didn't get into it until SS. And basically I was you know what? I want to take Twitch streaming a little bit more serious because I was I want to get better at the game because I was really bad at the beginning. I could not tolerate this game actually at all. And I was just really frustrated. So I started Twitch streaming. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. EDT every morning. And the biggest reason why I did that was because I was trying to avoid every single streamer I possibly could that was in the NA time zone.
Yep.
NA, like, you know, dude streams more NA. So I was just trying to avoid them all. So I was getting really strategic with it. So like, if you know me, and I talk to my stream about this all the time, I'm getting like really strategic. I've always been strategic about like social media. And I would say that's been like a little bit of a help with my success of like, you know, growing on this platform, is like trying to find ways to grow that normally other people won't do.
Yep.
And outside of that, what I did for TOing and stuff like that, that wasn't for content. That was because I wanted to find a place within the scene. So I don't know if you know, do you know that I was a part of Game Set and Match, or like, did you know about that at all?
No, I did not actually.
Okay, so I was a TO that helped out with the lands for New York.
Yep.
I'm one of the founders for that also.
Yep.
So if you ever seen Beacon, Summer Splat, I was one of the people that started that, helped grow it, and stuff like that. So, and now, which is led by Melissa and LSDJ.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. But at the time, I was doing a lot of that because I sucked at the game. Like, I couldn't find an answer of getting good at Splatoon 2. I still can't.
Yeah.
I figured out how to like be decent at solo, but being good at oh my gosh, being good at Splatoon 2 like was just really hard in a team setting.
Yep.
I couldn't find a weapon that would like work for me.
Yep.
So I just decided to get into tournaments, help out with tournaments, and that was really it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
You hit off some other questions I was looking to
What's up?
get into in a bit, but that's fine. We'll cut it up and all that. That's good. So obviously, I'm assuming E-Leader wasn't, or like charges weren't your first main. Were you the typical, you know, I'll do like E-Leader 3/4 charge kind of thing?
Back in Splatoon 1, both. I like, as I said, like I used what I had in my advantage.
Yep.
So I wasn't afraid to like, I wouldn't say afraid, but like I did it all. Like,
Yep.
I really liked sniping in general. Back then, like it felt so like I don't know what it was. Well, like, once the change happened, I didn't give up on sniping.
Yep.
I kept playing.
Yep.
Like it was fine to me. I didn't really care about the change. And then I also started like learning how to play Simi. I started learning how to play other things. I'm just mad I didn't like stream my gameplay, to be honest with you. But yeah, besides that, like, yeah, I think I like stayed on a gimmick like too much, and I didn't learn how to play Splatoon.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, like, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Speaking about how you were just a bit upset that you couldn't stream or anything like that, was that because of your like the stuff you had, like your gear, your PC, whatever, or was it just, you know, you didn't think about it to start off with? Because that's another thing, like
I didn't think about it.
Yeah. Because one thing I had is, one of my questions is, what kind of gear did you have off to start, like, you know, streaming and all that?
So I had this PC that I have now, actually. So I built this PC because I wanted to play Overwatch.
Yep.
I didn't build this PC because I wanted to stream. I saw Overwatch and I was like, yo, that game looks lit.
Yep.
Like I wanna play Diva. I was like, yo, this game looks absolutely amazing. Then Splatoon 2 was being announced, and I was like, you know what? All I needed was a capture card back then, because PC parts were cheap.
Yep.
Like they weren't expensive because of, you know, cryptocurrency and everything that's happened now. It was really easy. I bought my computer. The computer I have now, I spent like $1,000 on this.
Yep.
And that's all I had. I didn't get a face cam until I started making money on Twitch.
Yep.
Actually. So say for instance, I didn't buy a face cam, I didn't buy a mic. I had like a crappy little mic that was like attached to my my shirt, and that was really it.
Yep.
Like I'm not even joking. It was really, really bad. And then I bought a $20 headset, and that's what made the big change for me.
Yep. Surround sound,
and then
like
once I started
movement and all that, the footsteps, the surround sound, feel the footsteps.
Surround sound.
They're like,
feel the footsteps
and all that. Yeah.
I had a good headset. Like I had a good headphones. I just didn't have a headset to, like, you know, so people could hear me.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So then, yeah. Then I got a mic later on.
Yep.
But Yeah, so one of the things I always tell people, don't spend a whole bunch of money on streaming.
Yep.
Never.
I think that's the one thing that people get caught up about, is that they need everything from the get-go. I started off with a like $500 PC that was probably only meant for, you know, web browsing and making Word documents and stuff. And I used that for like a year and a half, 2 years, and it just completely conked out because I used it to stream and edit, and I'm just gonna use this for now and see how it goes, and just use this $20 webcam and all that. Like, that's all you need to do.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Like, I was only using it at the time to, you know, look back at my gameplay, because I was trying to improve better in competitive and all that. So I was only kind of using it for that purpose.
Same here.
But yeah, you don't need too much to get started. Just a capture card, some type of computer, even if it's like a Mac. You just have, I mean, not everyone has a Mac laying around, but
yeah, Macs are kind of expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a lot of things that people just get caught up about. Always having the gear straight away, and it's not going to increase your viewers or anything. You actually got to put the time in, which is what I also want to get into.
How much time?
Yeah, how much time do you reckon, just say in a week or a day, would you put into, like, whether that's editing, streaming, you know, trying to message other people, like with your podcast, like preparing for all that? How much time do you reckon you put into all that?
Now I'm more efficient. So you're talking about in the beginning?
Yeah, both beginning and where you're at now, just so people, you know, get a grasp.
All right, so in the beginning, I used to stream almost, if a lot of people even know, I used to stream almost like 8 hours when Splatoon came out. Like, I was streaming a lot. Like, I would stream like 8-hour, 10-hour streams. Like, it was, but that was different when, like, you know, it was like, you know, I first start trying to get like partnership, like I was getting the viewership. So I was really like, you know, focusing on how I can grow at that point in time. Editing, I wasn't worried about. I was an idiot. One of the biggest things I will tell any Twitch streamer now is that if you don't have a YouTube channel and you are not editing, you are making a huge mistake. Especially those that are on their partner push. When you have the most eyes on you, I made the biggest mistake by not editing. I didn't want to be a YouTuber. It's too much work. Like, putting YouTube videos together. Twitch streaming, you just press, you know, start stream, and then that's it. Like, that's all you have to do.
You just have to be good, like, personality wise, talking to people and all that. That's all you have to do.
I felt like I had that. Now I've become more efficient. To be honest with you, I don't stream as much as I used to because the game of streaming has changed. I only stream on the weekends. So, like, say for instance, I have a board on my wall where I write down like my video ideas, my podcast ideas, and then I cross out, like, you know, what I've done, or I erase what I've done, come up with other ideas. I sit down for about like an hour for my podcast ideas, because for me, my mind is always evolving on like what I can talk about. Like, I was sitting down in a stream, like send out a stream the other day, and I was like, yo, what about Rainmaker transferring or passing the Rainmaker?
Yeah,
like, that would be dope.
Yeah, I did.
Yes. So like things like that, I get them out of nowhere, and I just like write them down or in my phone. So yeah, that's I would say that now I'm more efficient with how I do it, and like I'm trying to treat it more like a business. The last aspect is trying not to rage as much, but that's hard. So yeah.
That's good, so people know how much effort you actually put in, whether that's, you know, streaming 8 hours if that's what you just want to do, like interact with the community, or whether it's you like editing and you want to just be a YouTuber and just, like, you know, stream every so often, not as much kind of thing. So yeah, that's good. Obviously you didn't always plan on making content, so there goes that question. Or you kind of did. You had a little bit of a hint.
Kind of did. I mean, we like I don't, you might be asking, how old are you?
18.
Okay, so I'm 29. So I was like growing up around, like, you know, the startup of the YouTube era, and like making content looked so cool. Like, there were so many people, it was like at the cusp of it, like where it was just like, you know, kind of starting, and it looked so cool. So like for me, I've always wanted to do something with like video games. And I've always wanted to be able to talk about video games as much as I possibly could, because I saw other people doing it, and it looked really cool, like, to me.
Yep.
So I would say that since I've been in high school, this is something I've always wanted to be able to do. It's just not easy.
Yeah.
And I was given a break with Splatoon, to be honest.
Yep. 100%. And since you started making content, like, this can be like when you were just streaming, or, you know, when you started making YouTube, whatever that was. What was your like main motivation to keep going? Because a lot of people start and then they kind of, you know, they just kind of stop.
So I burnt out.
Yep.
I don't know if you know this. I actually burnt out.
Okay. When was this?
And this was, I want to say, right before the pandemic, 2019-ish.
Like late 2019?
Like late 2019.
Yep.
And basically I burnt out. I went to go play Apex.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm so done. I can't take this anymore with solo. Like, I was just burning myself out. The numbers weren't there. I was going about it wrong. And I one day, basically, it's really weird. I went to therapy, and I was talking to my therapist, and basically I got back into it. So I got back into Twitch streaming because I basically wanted to stop altogether. Got back into Twitch streaming, got back into Splatoon later down the road. And basically what motivates me now is I have a love for, like, you know, I regained my love for social media again. I regained my love for Splatoon again.
Yep.
And I started realizing that, like, I was worried about the wrong things. Like, at that point in time, like, I was able to get, like, you know, decent powers. I was holding like 2,500. Yep. Pushing into, like, you know, top 500. And it just wasn't worth it to me. Now, like, I'll be like, oh, I need to, like, you know, like, do a little bit better with my gameplay. But, like, I started realizing that my community didn't care.
Yeah.
So I was just like, all right, like, what do I have to do to, like, make a change for myself? And basically I'm just trying to grow something different than I had before. And that's what I want now. And that's why I'm doing podcasts.
Yeah. And I guess do you think you're, obviously now you realize that your community wasn't there for, like, the competitive side and all that, and, like, high quality gameplay, we'll say, like, absolute top tier. Do you think, like, your viewers might have dropped, like, some of them might have left because you started, you know, being more of a personality streamer, so to say?
No? I feel like, in all honesty, like, you gain more because of it, in my opinion. Personalities is what makes Twitch. Like, a lot of people, like, if you can be good and have, like, you know, great gameplay, that's great. But I feel like personalities is what makes Twitch a lot of the times. If you've noticed that, like, a lot of the times, like, some of the best streamers aren't the best gamers.
Yep.
So I started learning that, and I started learning that there's more ways that I can be impactful rather than me trying to be the best competitive player, which I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like, and a lot of my viewers were telling me, they were like, yo, like, you know, you're decent enough already. Like, stop worrying your head about, like, how good you are at this game. And that's really all it was. They were just like, yo, you need to, like, change. I needed to change my focus, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I changed my focus.
Yeah. And I think I'm slowly starting to realize that as well. Like, a lot of my viewer base is actually, like, not super competitive. As you're,
I'm guessing it's the area that you come from also.
Yeah, but surprisingly, a lot of my viewers are also, like, American as well. Looking at my, like, statistics and all that, and, like, when I get interactions on Twitter posts and whatnot, a lot of them actually.
To be honest, you know, the funny thing is, to be honest with you, that's a normal thing with English speakers. I like, does it because it's a US website, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, with my kind of YouTube channel, just to give a quick overview, I basically just uploaded, like, scrims and tournament sets and whatever.
I know.
Yeah. And I just thought most of my viewer base would have just been like Australian, because I was only posting like Australian tournaments and all that, because I hadn't interacted with any American scene. And then all of a sudden they just kind of appeared out of nowhere. So that was kind of cool, you know. That's why I'm trying to be up a bit early and get these kind of streams in and play in tournaments and whatnot.
Hey, it's not a bad idea, man. I know time zones, you know, mess with you guys, but yeah, that's a good thing, man. I keep telling you, I'll clickbait your skill. Clickbait your skill.
Yeah, and I'll definitely take that on board. I try and do it every so often, but you know, sometimes it just feels a bit cheesy. But you got to do what you got to do.
Right, I know what you mean. I feel you.
Did everyone in your chat have any questions so far? I think I might have one real quick.
Not really. They're just listening.
Just listening in. Have they heard much about like where you've come from and all that, or?
Oh yeah. They know where I come from. I wouldn't let they talk about bagels all the time, man. They know exactly where I come from.
So we'll get back towards like where you.
Oh, Soji had one. Had one. Oh, so what was wrong? Things you were concerned about? What were the wrong things I was concerned about? I feel like I should learn that. I was concerned about my power. I made my stream about my power. I made my stream about like me being majority of the time being upset about like trivial things. Like if you watch, like I would like, the funny thing is with me, I've always had anger issues, and I think that like competitive, like playing solo is like the last bit of my anger issues being transmitted is the best way to say it. I don't know. 2K was worse. If I was a 2K streamer, I'd just be punching monitors. But like, say for me, I know that Splatoon is a different scene. Say for instance, so like if you go back to my old videos, I would be getting like decent powers and I'd be yelling, screaming, and just be like, you know, like I got the power, but it's like at what cost did it matter? Like at what cost? Like you see, say for instance, I feel like Dude is the perfect like, you know, combination of the two, of being good and like, you know, also being entertaining. And then but you have other streamers that are in the NA community that like, I feel like the top streamers aren't the best players.
Yeah, they are.
Just in general, like it's just the norm. So I was realizing that I have more, my voice, I feel like matters more in how I like use my words. I feel like a lot of people come for that more than they come for my gameplay. And that's something I have to tell myself in the back of my head, is that remember that people are coming to hear you speak and to have a decent time, not to hear you like yell and scream about how bad that NZAP is on the other team or on your team, better yet. So I try.
We all try and keep our cool, you know. I try and do it as well, but it just gets to you sometimes. You know, you see that one guy like that last game I saw, that CDS just almost cost you the win, but he clutched up in the end. It was all good.
You know what I mean. So you know what I mean. It's just the like, they're like, I don't know, like in solo I see so many people that are really good at the game and they're good at killing, but when it comes to objectives they just like they go brain dead.
They do.
And like it's just like certain things where you're just looking, you're just like, bro, if you had just like, you know, did this, we would have won and the game would have been over. So that's all mostly what gets me annoyed. So
but yeah, going back to content side, some milestones I want to talk about and how long it actually took to hit those milestones. So like just, you know, whether that's what I'm getting my words twisted, but what did you think was like one of your biggest milestones, and you know, how long did it take to hit, whether that was like 1,000 subs, 1,000 followers on Twitch, and how much like effort, again, I kind of just want to focus on like the time and effort it would have taken to get there as well.
Okay, so I will say that my biggest accomplishment social media wise is definitely Twitch partner is one of them. That was, I won't say that, like, I will say that I got Twitch partner in a short amount of time. I got it in within under a year. And that was mostly because of the amount of work that I put into like Twitch streaming. So I will say that like that was a lot of work in the side of like how much I streamed, I was on that, like, you know, sometimes I would be on like 12-hour streams just for fun, trying to maintain averages, like, you know, coming up with different ideas. But I will say that that's probably the one of the things that like I don't know how to put it. I regret the most.
Okay.
Because if I could go back, that is the not even YouTube, but that is the first thing I would do over again.
Yeah.
Is my Twitch partner run. Like I could make a guidebook on what people should do when they're pushing for partner.
Yeah. Okay. That's
so yeah.
Yeah. So then that's Twitch. Well, what about YouTube kind of thing?
Biggest accomplishment with YouTube? I feel like I still haven't hit anything yet, man. Yep. Like YouTube is so hard.
Yeah, it's a grind.
Like it's so hard. Like I feel like I will tell anybody at this point in time that Twitch streaming, having a community on Twitch is not as hard as people think it is.
Okay.
I think that you can grow a community. Like reaching 20 viewers is attainable. Reaching 30 viewers is attainable. Even like, I feel like even reaching partner, if you put the right work in and find the right game for you, is obtainable.
Yep.
YouTube, you can slug out like 15 million videos, but if you don't have the right audience, if you don't have the right, you know, the right thumbnails, the right, you know, like clickbait, the right titles, the right, you know, tags, it everything can just like, you know, go wrong. It just feels hard.
Yep.
Like you could feel like a video is a banger. Like I'm talking about like 10 of 10. You thought you did an amazing effort and you make it only 300 views, 100 views maybe. And you're just like, why did this flop? So it's just learning that and learning how like YouTube works. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
So if I'm not being hard on myself, because I'm really hard on myself for YouTube.
Yep.
I would say that right now I feel like the biggest goal for me on YouTube is the fact that I'm consistent now.
Yeah.
I found good ways for me to continually be consistent. And I've been lucky, as I said, I do work also on top of this. So I did find an editor. I found somebody to do my thumbnails so that I can focus on like what I'm good at, and that is Twitch streaming. And basically just using my voice. I suck at editing. It's hard.
It is hard. It is
like
hard.
I can stitch things together, but editing is hard.
Yeah, and it's time consuming. It's really time consuming.
Very.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got one question in my Twitch chat from Kichi.
Sure.
How does someone get into content, and what type of ways have you gotten into it?
One more time.
How does someone get into content, and what type? This is a bit. How does someone get into content, and what type of ways have you gotten into it?
Okay, so this is the biggest thing that I will tell anybody. Just do it. Like you know, like the Shia LaBeouf, like just do it. Like just do it. I think that a lot of people have complicated content creation. And I don't think that I don't think people realize that content creation is you putting your passion out there. It's not about like the fact that like if you make content creation about money, that's when you complicate things. Some people can do it. Like some people can make content about money and they'll be perfectly fine. But I will say that I would do Twitch streaming even if I wasn't making money. I would do it regardless, like just because of the fact that I find this fun. So that's one of the things that I tell people to like remember is that like you need to find ways that like, how is it fun? Like say for instance, like a lot of people, like I would talk to people regardless. So like the way that I do my podcast, I would be in a VC with people talking about the game regardless. So you have to make sure that this is something that you are literally putting out there. Like you're treating it almost like it's a hobby. And one of the biggest things I'll tell somebody if you're getting into like Splatoon Twitch stream, like Splatoon, I will say that being a part of the community is a big aspect of this game. If you're not a part of the community, it makes it really, really hard for a lot of people. And a lot of people don't realize that, I would say. And they think that like they can just do like, you know, whatever they want in regards to like, you know, their content and like, you know, they can just start up their stream and then that's really it. there's a lot of background work that you have to do.
Yep.
So like say for instance, if I'm recommending anybody that's starting off, like what are you doing that's different from the other like 100 people that are streaming this game? What are you doing different from the other people that are putting out content? And if what you're doing different is you're freaking good at this game, that is different than somebody else because of the fact that there's nobody else like you.
Yeah.
At the same time, like I would say that if you're not the greatest at the game and you know you're just average like me, do you have a good speaking voice? Like what makes you unique?
Yeah.
So you have to go in on those things basically.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that's helpful.
Yeah. That's really good. Speaking off the back of community and all that, since you're from Splatoon 1 obviously and played that game and whatnot, how did you actually find the community, or how did you like see it evolve if you were like, you know, a part of it? Like how small was it, and like seeing it grow and all that?
Dude, I got into Splatoon from what's it called? I got into the community because of Reddit. I said this earlier actually. I got into the community because of Reddit, and that was because I was tired of being bad at the game, and there wasn't, which is one of the biggest issues that probably Splatoon still has, is that resources aren't very easy to find. And I took the initiative at that point in time. Everything was fragmented. There were a lot of things on Skype. You had to go on squid boards. That like people would go on squid boards back then.
Oh yeah, because dude was talking about
like,
that,
you know,
like Discord wasn't a thing.
No, you had to go on Skype. Like that was like the #1 way to actually like communicate with people. It was terrible. Yeah. So that was how like I found the community. And I found like weird pockets of the community, man. That was like like if anybody got in the way that I got in, bro, like I'm not even like because you're gonna be putting this on YouTube. I won't talk about everything. Yep. Maybe when you're done, I'll tell you more. Yep. But like I was in a very weird part of the community, and like a lot of people probably would have quit from where I was at. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that like you know. What was the other part of the question? How did I see it change? Yeah. One of the things I saw change is like how the skill in this game has definitely gone higher, definitely gone further. There are a lot more better players just in general when it comes to like, you know, competition in this game. Yep. There has been a resurgence of content, because I will say that I was one of those people that would have said that there was a lot more Splatoon 1 content on that taught you how to play this game. Yep. And just like, you know, the drive from the community to see it grow has definitely peaked even more from like Twitch viewership, even now. So yeah. Yeah, that's good. Also, you're carrying us, by the way. You're like top frag like the last 3 games. Stop it.
I'm saying you're like washed up and all that.
When I'm playing still, like when I'm playing, like I still I hopped on yesterday and like I realized that like I have to realize sometimes that like I still can play this game at a decent level. Like if I wanted to like grind solo, I can do it. It's just that it's too much on my heart. Yep. Like I don't want to put out bad content anymore. I'm okay with 1 or 2. You know, like this person's bad, this, that, and the other. But like back then, I was literally yelling my head off, running up and down the hallway, and yeah. So I'm just trying to change that. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. And since we're talking about growth, from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2 now. What kind of growth did you see there, and do you think from Splatoon 2 to Splatoon 3, obviously we know that's coming out sometime next year, what kind of jumps and changes in whether that's content or player base, people starting out, like all that, what kind of growth do you reckon? So we'll start from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2. Did you see like a decent jump?
Decent jump in, yes. 100%. I'll say that one of the biggest things that I saw a decent jump in was in competitive. Yep. there were a lot more teams, and like even though like in the beginning there was like, you know, SVX had a stronghold on the game, I will still say that there were a lot of like, you know, decent teams, whereas before it was like, you know, there was a couple, and like so you can tell that some teams that were up there, they might not have been on par with like certain players and certain teams.
Yeah.
But like you can tell that now there is a reinsurgence on like people that want to get good at this game. Not even reinsurgent. There's just a lot of players that really want to get good at this game. I would say from the content perspective, has been a shift from the competitive scene that is realizing that the competitive play of this game, or the content creation of part of this game, is geared toward casual play.
Yeah.
And I think that what's happening right now is people are realizing that for this game to succeed, we need to be more accepting to casuals.
Yep.
And we need to stop thinking that we are like, you know, this different part of the scene. We need to try to see how we can get them more involved. And that's something that I have been trying to fight for in my content now.
Yep.
Especially. And like, that's what I'm looking for, is how can I use my content to reach a more wide-reaching scene. That's what I want right now.
Yeah.
That is what I'm looking for.
And I think,
I feel like they're. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I was talking about this with Dude, is that with Splatoon, you know, it kind of needs a helping hand with people getting introduced to the game, because it's so complex. You know, with other shooters, you just have like basic, you know, shooting people, and then like maybe just one objective that you kind of have to learn. This, you have like all these different weapons, like there's paint flying everywhere. Yeah, you have to worry about map control and all that. And it's just like, even when I got my parents to watch me play, like they just get confused.
They have no idea what's going on.
If you got them to watch like, I don't know, any other game like Valorant or Apex or whatever, all that matters is like, it's simple. You just have to kill someone, and you just have to be like the last one standing.
Yeah, I agree with you 110%.
So I think
I agree with you. No,
you go.
Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to keep cutting you off. My bad.
That reiterate that having more casual content will definitely help with that, and getting people to be able to learn the game like much easier and get into it.
And that's what I think we had more of, because the first game was fresh.
Yep.
And we're getting more people that are recognizing that now. I actually have something that I'm working on in the background that I like want to get out there because of that. Oh wow. But that's one of the things that, like, when it comes to this game, like, we've had people that are going to be reaching 300K. Like, Splatoon 3, we're gonna have people that are gonna be reaching 1 million subs in this game. And that is a real, like, you know, not even possibility, it's going to happen. Like, it's genuinely going to happen. So I'm trying to study, how can I mix that into my content? And how can I make my content more like digestible is I guess the best thing I could say, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's pretty much for that. I'm actually almost at the end of my list. And
no problem, man. It's not a big deal.
Do you reckon we're gonna just quickly flip over to, you know, competitive for a bit? Do you think Splatoon 3 can be up there in like the esports scene?
You asked the wrong person this, man. You really did. I don't know if you're ready for this.
I'm ready for anything.
I have a big stance on esports, actually.
Fill us in.
I think that the esports bubble as a whole, I'm not saying that there won't be competitive.
Okay.
But I do think that the esports bubble as a whole is a lot smaller than people realize it is. Like, I feel like esports, it has, like, you know, say for instance, battle royales right now are the biggest part of esports. Like, Valorant might be the other game, CSGO might be the other game. Like, you look at a game like Smash Brothers, right? And how big they are. But they've done a lot of it by themselves. And my biggest opinion on this is, without Nintendo, we can do as much as we want. We can make as much content as we want. we can make as much like, talking points. We can run as many tournaments as we want.
Yep.
But to fit in that esports realm, we need the parent company to actually step up and be like, yo, this is an initiative that we want to have. And until that day, it's going to be very hard for us to, get anywhere without them.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think a lot of other players are realizing this, like, watching other esports and all of that. They've actually got the main company, helping them out and pushing that competitive side along, because obviously Nintendo didn't plan on having any of these games become so competitive and where they're at today.
Yes.
Like, no way they would have thought that it was going to come to this, but
no.
Yeah, I think I would say they're taking a slow approach to maybe possibly going somewhere with esports. Like, they got the World Championships and all that for Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3, and then they have like... yeah, I know, it's a bit iffy.
You're being nice.
I'm being pretty nice, because I've been there myself, but...
oh, was I there when you were there?
2019.
By chance? No.
Yeah.
You weren't a part of FLC's team, right?
No. I was the year after that.
2018 was the year that I got it there. Okay.
Yeah, but they're taking very little baby steps towards something there. I'll give him that.
I call it marketing. But I'll be nice since these are your talking points.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but some of these games have just been wild. Like, I don't know.
I'll stay quiet.
You stay quiet? Why? What do you think?
Yeah, I know why. No.
Works against some American lobbies?
I'll tell you off stream.
Okay. Fair enough. But we're gonna flip back to more content stuff. In terms of this could be, since you played a little bit of comp and did some TOing, you did a bit of everything. Who did you kind of look up to when it came to whether that was content, whether that was playing the game, TOing and all that? To like, obviously someone has someone else to look up to and kind of take some ideas and whatnot. So who do you think that was for you?
To be honest with you, since I'm older in the community, like when it comes to if I'm being honest with you, maybe when it comes to what's the best way to put this? Maybe when it comes to competitive, I watched a lot of Rocket. And I've told him this. I used to watch a lot of Rocket. That is probably where I got a lot of my inspiration from with competitive.
Yeah.
But when it came to TOing, that was by myself.
Yep.
I don't think I really looked at anybody in the scene because I was a lot older. I was like, at that point I was like 25, 26.
Yep.
So yeah, I was a lot older at that point in time. Yep. So like I came up on it by myself at that point, I would say. Like I just was in a building one day and I was like, nobody's really doing LANs like that. I want to do them. I want to have local events. Yep. You know what? I won't be messed up in saying that I'm probably the pioneer of local events in Splatoon.
Okay. Yep.
So like I know that other people have done them, but like we were like the group that kind of had them on a more successful basis.
Yep.
So yeah, like we used to have them all the time in New York. Sadly, I don't live in New York anymore, but we used to have them all the time in New York.
Yep. And what about for content side, whether that was streaming or YouTube?
Content, to be honest with you, I still watch. For years, I've been watching a guy by the name of Rich Review Tech USA. And I would say that like people like him, I can't really remember anybody else. Like a lot of these guys are gone.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say people like that, where like they talk about gaming Like I'm a very big on the YouTube content. I don't like I watch a lot of more like let's talk about the theory of gaming or let's talk about like gaming news.
Yep.
So I like a lot of those news channels, and I would always love if I was able to like flip the switch. You can open the lobby, by the way. But if I could flip the switch and like talk about gaming news, because I like anybody that like knows me, they can tell you that like, yo, I'm on Twitter I know everything that's going down on Twitter. People hit me up and be like, yo, did you see this? I'm like, bro, I saw that like 2 hours ago. Like, what are you doing? Yep. And like a lot of I would say that a lot of my podcast has to deal with the fact that I pick up things from Twitter all the time.
Yep.
Like I literally like from YouTube, from trends, like I love watching these things like, you know, progress. And I would love to actually always talk about them, but it's hard. It's hard. Yep. It's a very hard niche to get into on YouTube. So I would say Rich Review Tech. I would say that.
Yep. Okay. Never heard of them, but I'm sure they're good. I've like watched some of the game theory kind of stuff behind some games.
Yeah.
I like it, you know, every so often I'll tune to that if I'm a bit interested in a game or whatnot. So yeah, it's good. Wait, did you say you opened one? Or
open what?
A twin. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I joined you.
Okay, cool.
I was like, wait, what? I hope opened a twin. I was like, what happened? Nah, yeah. So yeah, like I will always say that like I'm not really like I kind of move how I want to move. I know that sounds like I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm a hipster, but my chat does call me a hipster. Like I'm not, like it's not a joke. Like there's commands in my chat about me being a hipster.
Yep. But
like I genuinely really move how I want to move. I don't like moving how other people like moving.
Yep.
I want to do things differently. And I want to do things smart. So like say for instance, even when I wanted to get good at this game, like say for instance, I had like pages of Google Docs on how to get good at Splatoon, like in solo. So like when I was playing E-Leader, I was like, yo, how do I get good at this game? All right, cool. What's giving me problems? Carbon Roller. What map is this? Bluefin. Where's the Carbon Roller like to flank? Cool. Twitch streaming. Yo, like, all right, cool. What are people's schedules? Who has a schedule that I know of? Cool. Milana, Fish streams in the morning. Milana streams at night. Dude is the only wild card. When does Dude stream? I don't know when Dude streams. So what I would do is I would track Dude streams, and I used to have his notifications on so that I can figure out when he streams most of the time. Yep. At that point in time, Dude would always stream at 1 p.m. or around then and stream for like about 3 to 4 hours. Yep. So then I would put those together and then be like, all right, what's the best time for me to stream? 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
So that's what I did.
Yep.
And that's what I did. And I was obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with doing things differently. Yep. And trying to go about it as much like different as I possibly can. Yep. So yeah. Yeah. Or as smart as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's good, because I think that's a good thing to mention, because a lot of people just go the stereotypical, you know, just stream whenever they feel like it. But if you actually want to get someone, you have to put in, whether that's streaming, you actually have to put in a lot more effort than just, you know, clicking that start button whenever you feel like it.
Yep. And that's what that is what changed everything, man. Yep. It's seriously.
Alright. A question from my Twitch stream from Storm. What do you think you'd be doing if you didn't get into Splatoon?
I'd be a 2K clout, not rage. I'd be a 2K clout streamer. To be honest with you, I was actually really decent at 2K. Yeah, like I was really decent at 2K at one point in time. Yeah. I probably was better at 2K than I am at like. I could promise you that like in certain people, like my boys, like at my school, because there was nothing to do, we all played 2K tournaments, and like at that point in time, like I was like we were going hard at it. Like I was like learning how to play, like trying to get better at the game and just in general. And I would be trying to like, you know, how could I like try to grow in there? But I hate 2K. I'm very hard on gaming, but that's probably where I would have been, to be honest with you.
You should see where the game's at now, bro. Oh my god,
it sucks. I know where it is at.
Like I'm a big basketball fan as well. NBA, that's
You
my
are?
thing. Yeah, I used to play 2K. Maybe not. Well, did you ever? You would have played on the park, surely.
No, I
No?
played. So the way that we played, it's changed. So like the way that we played back then, we would play like, you pick your team, and that was really it. But now everybody plays on the park, so it's different now than it is before.
Yeah.
So like now it's more about how good you are on a solo aspect, rather as like, you pick a team and like you try to beat people at it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I've been like a grinder in that game from like 20.
So you're probably better than me.
At solo,
the point
at solo.
in time when I was at it,
at like the park, that was my thing. Like 2K13 to 2K, I would say 18. That's all I played, and then after that I switched to Splatoon.
Oh, okay.
I was the park man, like the grinder. I've got like one video on my YouTube channel of me being a big center, just grabbing rebounds for days. That was my thing. I should link it to you. It's pretty funny. Like
man.
My guy was like a 96 overall, something 94, something like that. We're beating like because you got the rankings as well as beating like one of the top ranks. It's pretty funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I stopped playing 2K at 2K14. That's when I realized the game was going downhill.
Yep.
So that's when I stopped playing. But outside of that, I probably would have tried my hand at news content. To be honest with you, like I not like on like some like Keemstar or like anything like that, but like gaming news talk content, like talking about, yo, did you guys hear about the Switch Pro rumor and like all that stuff? I probably would have tried my hand at that. But I'm just too. I say that my biggest problem is I have standards.
Yep.
I can't talk about certain things, and that's the problem. So yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I was hoping we could have got on some debate about 2K and like the park and stuff, but you were before that time.
Debate about it? What is there debate?
I don't know, just some kind of conversation.
Trash.
It's trash. Jeez, it's a big statement. It's some big.
No. Like to be honest with you, I can't support a company like 2K because they make so much money off of it by selling microtransactions. Not the park. The park isn't trash. I know that it's like I've watched people play it. But like I don't like supporting companies that literally give this is the best way to put it. They don't give anything. They see the people that buy their games as money. Literally just to pump them as much as they possibly can. And I was talking about this with somebody the other day. That's why I play Nintendo games at this point in time, because I feel like Nintendo is the last of a dying breed of games where they more care about the consumers. Not like saying that they don't look at their consumers as dollar bills, because it is a corporation at the end of the day, but they care more about putting out a quality game. 2K at this point in time could have paid to have more people in their office if they really cared to make the game better, but they don't. So the problem is also that like the players that play that game, they are not like the biggest gamers in the world. They are people that are playing the game to have fun. They are playing the game to, relax after work. Not everybody's like super grinder. So like you're in an area where people are going to loyally buy those games no matter how bad they are. So yeah. There goes my I hate 2K spiel.
Yeah. I think that I wonder, was it kind of like EA the first one to start it? Because I know they always get a lot of shit on that. Yeah.
EA, yes. Yep.
With FIFA and whatever else. Yeah.
So I can't stand it, man. So yeah.
It's fair enough. I guess you got out at the right time. Because when the park came in, that's all that happened. It was just microtransactions.
That's all they cared about.
Yeah. And that's actually all the questions I have. So we can just chill out for whenever. If anyone
we can keep going, man. I'm perfectly fine.
If anyone has any other questions in both chats, feel free to shoot them away.
Nah, yeah, as I said, like, man, that was I'm glad that you did this, in all honesty. Like, what made you were looking for more content to do?
Yeah, I was looking for more content, like what we were talking about, trying to find something different, because everyone's just doing interviews with each other. different podcasts. You know, they're all good and all, but like in terms of content, because ever since Splatoon 3 got announced, people were like, oh, I'm gonna start content, blah blah blah, and I don't know, it just popped into my head. You know, wrote it down like what you do. I don't use an hour to brainstorm, but something pops up to my head when I'm watching YouTube videos or streams or whatnot.
Dude, as I said, I'm at a different point right now. You'll get there eventually, but I'm at a different point right now where like I'm looking at what I'm doing analytically at this point. So like it's like, say for instance, I am doing it for fun. But I've learned like that what I was doing before was like not as effective as I would have hoped. So that's where I'm looking at now, is like, how can I be as effective as I possibly can be? And that's all I care about really, is like, what can I do to put myself in the right position for Splatoon 3? So that like when Splatoon 3 pops off, I want to be able to look and be like, dang, like I jumped like 20k subscribers after having like, you know, maybe like 5k or something like that. So that is what I am 110% looking for right now.
Excellent. That's a good goal.
So
yeah,
yeah, man. Let me ask you a question. What are you like? So what are your goals now?
Well, as I'm basically from when I started, like I built my PC, started February, and I was just looking to, you know, do more competitive, kind of like what Kara's doing. But I'm realizing that, you know, more of my casual content that I've kind of put here and there has been more popular, so I might switch over to that kind of side, but still do like a bit of both. In terms of goals, it's just, you know, try and maybe not as big as yours, but maybe like 10k maybe. I still haven't hit 1,000, but you know, we'll get there eventually.
You'll get there.
Yeah. And I guess
you'll get there.
That's for YouTube. Like just being more consistent, trying to upload every day whenever I can. Whether that's just gameplay of me playing or guides or whatever. And then for streaming, I've still always struggled having some type of schedule. Which is huge, I know, for the streaming.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. What do you have like a Discord and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you have a Discord, you have what's it called? Like you're already growing on. I would tell you right now, one of the biggest things I've noticed, schedules don't matter.
Okay.
Like that's like the clickbait thing that, like, you know, the YouTube guru is trying to tell you, like, you need a schedule, you need this, you need that. There is no, let me just tell you something, there is no guaranteed thing for Twitch streaming, right? So like, say for instance, at one point in time, I used to tweet out all the time about my streams. I stopped doing that because I realized that it was hurting my Twitter. But if I just tweet about, like, you know, the content that I have on my page, that does better, and people will end up checking me out and following. So I tried different things. I would tell you, don't worry about a schedule. Right now, like, I have a loose schedule. So like, I stream on the weekends, but some days I don't feel like streaming anymore. And I tell my viewers that, and I'm just very transparent about, like, yo, what's happening with like my my Twitch streams. So I feel like that's something that maybe you may like look in. I mean, you're just starting out with like Twitch streaming, as I said, and you also do like the late night shift. So yeah, man, just take it one day at a time.
That's a good piece of advice, because, you know, my schedule's random depending on, you know, if I play in tournaments, if I decide to stream those, or like, because I play basketball as well on Monday and Wednesday.
Are you like a college player?
Oh, not college, just kind of, you know, casual.
Oh, for fun.
For fun.
Nice.
So that kind of stuff affects me having a set in stone like schedule. So it's good to know that most of the time, or that you don't really need one to be 100% successful. No, that's what the clickbait people tell you. There are certain things that are like, you know, help with the success of a channel. But I've noticed that, like, as long as you're consistent, so say for instance, if you stream 3 days a week, right? Just let your Discord know, like, from a week-to-week basis, what you're going to be doing. Like, if that's your plan. For me, my Discord knows, or the people on my stream know, NEGUS is going to be on the weekends. That's really it now. And like, a lot of people are like, oh, like, you know,
you got to stream as many days as you possibly can. But like I found success. I mean, maybe because like I've already had a decent following. I was able to, you know, transition to the weekends and it still work out for me. I do sometimes miss streaming during the week, but like you could tell people like, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing. Like Monday, we're going to be streaming at this time. Tuesday, we're going to be streaming at this time. I have a break. And then that's really it. Change it from week to week. Try it out.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Man. Wait, so do you play with an American team?
I used to play with Arctic Moon. But I just felt with uni first year, just couldn't really handle like playing as much as they wanted to play. Because obviously I had to wake up in the morning.
Okay.
Like 9-10 a.m. and play. But yeah, I was with them for a bit, like over my summer. From late last year and then early this year, I'm like with uni, it's like nah, probably can't handle that. So now I'm just kind of chilling on my own. I don't know if you know about, I'm sure you do, about like the Plus server and all that.
Yes, I do.
Suggested into +1. So
I saw.
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Dude, I told you, like I am how people smoke. I am a Twitter addict.
Yep.
Like I'm not joking with you. I see everything.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's that. So I'm trying to get into some scrims and tournaments and stuff and see how we go with that. Because I feel like with Splatoon, it's like either your personality or it's like you're really, really good at the game. And you know, it would be nice to just you know, be really good at the game and just make some content here and there. And because I kind of want to do a mix of both.
I try to tell you guys, like, all right, look at this, right? One of the things that I try to tell like a lot of aspiring, especially people like you that are like, you know, you guys go for high XP without like cracking. Like I'm somebody that will mentally crack when I run into laggy people, right? Like just now, like my brain almost like wanted to spiral into like the abyss. But what I try to tell people that are good at this game, if you easily get top 500, clickbait that shit. Like, sorry for the cursing, but like I'm tired of a lot of you guys like that have innate gaming skills and click buttons better than people that don't understand that like you have been given a gift. What I think that a lot of you need to do, I think a lot of you need to watch other scenes. Like I think you need to watch like Fortnite. I think you need to watch like, you know, Apex. I think you need to watch those players do and start realizing that you need to just go with like what works for your like for content creation. And what for content creation for a lot of these people is the fact that they are building a following of people that like follow them because of a meme that they might have, or like say for instance how good they are at a certain aspect. Like say for you, you're probably one of the like, you know, like you're good at Nautilus. You have a great personality. Nobody does Nautilus guides. I don't know if you have them already.
I've won,
but I think you do.
I've won.
You have one, right? So go as hard as you possibly can with those guides and try to like inspire people to use Nautilus more before they nerf it. So yeah, those are little things. Those are little aspects that a lot of people can do. Somebody was asking in my chat also about what's the best time to upload. Whenever there's no set time for that. Like people will tell you that, oh, you gotta upload at 12 o'clock during the day. But it's whenever you notice that you're successful. Try, experiment. I've tried different times and I noticed that I just blew that. Oh well. I've noticed that like it really just depends on your schedule. Like it depends on like, you know, if you have good content, people will watch good content. That's really all it is.
And it's more that like I know some people have had this in the past where, you know, one of your videos might start like lackluster with views and then all of a sudden a couple days later it just gets picked up by the algorithm of YouTube being all wacky. So there's definitely no set in time that you have to upload.
Yes, that is it. What is your strategy for YouTube?
I mean, on YouTube it gives you like that little thing about when your like subs are most active. So I just like
I never checked that actually.
No, you don't? Okay. Well,
I should.
Mine's like upload like around 1 a.m, which is fine because you can schedule videos, so I'll just work on a video during the day and then upload it around then. So I guess that just works just for me because I edit at night and it just upload it then. So yeah, that's kind of just my strategy. Like play scrims and stuff in the morning, and then do some editing during the day and night. Do whatever else I need to do, real life stuff, and then just upload when I'm heading off to bed.
Okay,
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense, man. As I said, I tried to find somebody that could edit for me. As I work full time, so the whole 9 to 5 grind is like a lot.
Yeah.
When it comes to content creation, like I can talk for hours. Obviously, if you've noticed when you were like, "Oh, do you need a break?" I was like, "Nah, like I'll be fine." I can talk for hours. My stream knows that I can talk for hours. Also, like I easily can clock in like 6 hours of me just talking. Like my wife says a lot of times that I'm dramatic and I like to hear my voice. So I'm starting to believe it maybe a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, you do talk a lot, and that's not a bad thing, you know. I'm assuming you've built that up from streaming 6 to 8 hours a day.
I would say, you know what's funny? I'll let you know this. I've naturally been able to. Public speaking is something that I believe that runs in my family. My father is an amazing public speaker. Once I got over my anxiety, I learned that with prep, I can speak in front of anybody.
Yep.
And Twitch streaming, I think, has amplified that to like crazy and a crazy degree because of like, you know, how many people you speak on a daily basis and how many people are in here.
Yep.
Like even just speaking to 20 people will make you realize that like that's a lot of people. But I started realizing that when I was able to do a speech about LeBron James, like I can talk to you about the dumbest things ever. And I can give you like, say for instance, you want to talk about like, you know, oh, why is LeBron James the best player in the NBA? I can talk to you for about 2 hours about that. Or anything, honestly. Like I've just learned how to prolong conversations so that it like makes sense a little bit.
Yep.
So that's something that I feel like comes naturally to me. And like a lot of people, when they say like, you know, they watch the podcast, they're like, oh, you have a lot of energy. And I'm like, that's something that I've always been able to do when I'm passionate about something. So yeah. And I'm passionate about Splatoon. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. So that's really all it's been.
Yeah.
So any future content that you're looking at soon?
Don't want to give anything away. To be honest,
I get it.
But
okay, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Just a couple other people for this. I don't know if it's really a podcast. But this kind of little series I'm doing. I've got Vic coming on sometime soon.
Oh, nice.
I think Vian maybe at some point as well. We haven't done set time and dates or anything. And a couple others here and there. So yeah, it looks. We'll see how these go up on YouTube. Obviously, it won't bother me if they don't go super well, regardless. But you know, it's good just meeting different people, getting to know where they came from, and all that. So yeah, it's gone well so far.
Okay, that's good to hear, man. As I said, Splatoon is one of the more supportive scenes in this game when it comes to like, you know, content creation. I feel like there's a lot of people that want to see everybody do well. There isn't anybody that's like, I would say, like, you know, in other scenes, it's like, you know, there's a lot of like, you know, BS that goes on and stuff like that. But I would say in this scene that there are a lot of people really looking out for the well-being of the scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of players. I'm gonna lose it, but there's a lot of players that are looking out for everybody, man. From what I've seen.
Yeah, I've seen that as well, actually. Like, just coming to when I've been asking people about this, you know, when I came to Dude and all that, even yourself, like, yeah, man.
Oh,
like,
Dude's amazing.
Yeah, oh, and even Milana, I feel Milana, at some point. Yeah, they've all embrace the idea of just someone new reaching out that wants to create content for this game, even if it's just like, you know, doing podcasts or anything else. It's great to see.
Nah, that's good, man. I'm glad that you're finding, you know, people that are willing to help as much as they possibly can. That's one of the things that I'm looking for. I want to, like, you know, try if I can to like make a resource for the scene when it comes to like content creation.
Yep.
So I really would want to do that, because I feel like there's something that like is still missing when it comes to like, you know, people putting stuff out. Like, say for instance, like I look at this section, like there's still so much more growth that we can have with this scene. It's just that like a lot of people aren't doing it and reaching like wider audiences.
Yeah.
This match is impossible.
Yeah, it is.
I think I've died to like the roller like 20 times through lag.
Yeah, you get that every so often. It's a bit frustrating. Even for me, like it's always this like latency, because no one in my, oh, well, when I say no one, I mean like 20-30 people probably that still play ranked from like Australia, and even then our internet's kind of
20-30 people.
Yeah, literally that's all it is. I think we have like 2 teams that play internationally. Like, so basically I'll give you a bit of backstory. So we have our own like little version of Ludi.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the Oceaning series. So most teams come to play for that. So we probably have like 20 teams for that, and then everyone just kind of disappears in like the off season.
Okay.
And then kind of only 2-3 teams kind of hang around, try and play in some like international tournaments. Whether that's like what IPL run with like Simul Swing or testing grounds or whatever. And then a handful of other players kind of just do pickups like what I do with other players. So it's kind of, you know, we're desperately looking at Splatoon 3, at least I am, for our scene to be revived. Because when Splatoon 2 came out, there was like heaps of players, like just endless amounts of players.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I get that. Have you ever thought about like, I mean, you never know, man. You may want to learn Japanese. Like you're like around the same time zone, so
yeah.
Like,
I mean, I've tried learning a different language in high school. I don't know, couldn't grasp the concept of it, like, and how much I would use it. But yeah,
the answer seems like if you guys, I mean, not everybody's gonna learn Japanese. I understand that, but like, if you really wanted to, you probably could have an easier time playing with them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Maybe I'll consider it. But yeah, like
all I'm saying,
the jump from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2, basically our Australian championships in Splatoon 1 had like 16 teams, and in Splatoon 2 in the next year had like 100. And the year after that had about 100. Then it went down to like 80, 90. And now if we were to do one again, it would probably be like 40, something like that.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So we just desperately need Splatoon 3 at some point. It's the only reason I want it to release as soon as possible, but I know we want a good, clean, polished game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're gonna get that no matter what. Yeah. Like, it's coming. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Like, and I'm looking forward to it. I think they're gonna give a clean, polished game. I'm not worried about anything like that, to be honest with you.
Before you know it, they're gonna add microtransactions and everything in the game. Loot boxes.
That's not gonna happen. So don't do that. That's not happening. Honestly, I was gonna tell you, man. I think like the biggest thing for Twitch streaming, if you're looking for more people to come through, man, you just gotta network a little bit more, and you'll have it automatically. Yep. Like, I got lucky. Like, I tell people this all the time. There was one aspect of this I actually forgot to add. The people that I have in my stream are what make my stream personally. Yep. One of my mods by the name of Ali and another person that's named Binary Alto are the reason why my stream is the way that it is. There's actually, I've told the story about this emote before, but there's actually an emote in my stream that has the both of them together.
Yep.
And as I said, it's the only emote that like no matter what will never change.
Yeah.
And that's because of the fact, this Gluga is so laggy, bro. And it's the same player as last time. Oh my gosh. Like, so basically they were the reasons why, like, super early in the morning, they came along, because basically my origin, I kind of messed up on my origin story a little bit there. Basically my origin story was the fact that I dropped my setup, actually, because I got pissed off at Muscle Forge Rainmaker, the worst map in the face of the planet. I don't know why I ever try to play it on stream, because it's just so frustrating. I dropped my setup, actually. Like, I'm talking about, like, you hear, like, nothing broke, but, like, all you hear is, like, pins and stuff like that. I had to get rid of it because one guy was, like, really annoying with me playing it over and over again.
Yep.
I'm gonna lose my mind with this Glugas. But besides that, yeah, so like that's why like a lot of my I really attribute a lot of my success to like the mods that I have. They'll say like, oh no, that's not why, Kendall, like it's because you have great content, and I'm like, nah, it's because of the people that have wanted to see me grow, and they are the group of people that wanted to see me grow, to be honest. So it's usually the right people around, like in your community, that can make all the difference. Like I say this all the time, like as if even if I'm raging, I will never let my chat get out of hand.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's auto bombs everywhere.
Dude, this dude just walked in my bullets.
Yeah, I 100% get what you mean. I think I've got, you know, a few people that are starting to come back more regularly, which is good to see.
Good to hear.
We'll keep building on that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Once you get your name out there more, you're doing the right things. Like, people are gonna notice you. Be more. I know it's hard for you because like being active in chats is not easy.
Yeah, when you're trying to concentrate on the game and everything.
No. Well, I know I'm talking about like the fact that of time zones, and it makes it hard for you to be in like certain people's chats because like you're asleep when they're streaming.
Yeah. I mean, every so often I try and pop into Milana and Barry, and sometimes Dude streams a bit late, so I try to. Or if I'm still awake when he starts streaming at like 3 AM my time or whatever, I'll just quickly say hi and I'll be like, I'm off to bed, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, just do what you need to do. Like, you'll be fine. Just network as much as you possibly can. You'll be fine. Ha! Ha! Your lag didn't save you. Oh, that was disgusting.
It's over now. We'll probably play them again later, but
yeah, no, we will. We will. Yo, Falco, what's good? So yeah, like I would even tell you, like, there's one thing that I would even tell you, like, even running tournaments is a big thing. Like doing little events or like this. Say for instance, you're doing an event, and hyping it up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just even little things, man. Even if you wanted to put your foot in for commentary, like it's a needed thing.
Yeah. I've done some TOing and commentary for just my scene when we had like local events, and I had one just online tournament that I was running, but you know, towards the end of that I would only get a small handful of teams just because of our scene sadly dying. But yeah, might think about, you know, there'd be a lot on my plate, I feel like, with content and trying to play competitively and then doing that as well. So I think I could try and balance it, but it's a toughie.
I understand that. Yeah, no, I've removed myself completely. I've said that I probably will never play this game again competitively. I will help with competitive, but I will never play this game again competitively. It's just too much work. I would rather, like, I've talked about this before. Finding like-minded people is very hard. And finding people that want to win, that don't care about, like, you know, the fact that like they can't use a certain weapon, like, is also hard in this game. So I just rather like I personally I want to get into fighting games, but I always want to help this scene out no matter what.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that needs to change is like finding a way to make like resources easier for people is like one of the biggest things right now.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, because there hasn't been a whole lot of like resources in like content and that kind of stuff. You mean?
Yeah. No, well, not even just content, but like just showing people like, you know, where they can find teams, because there's a lot of people that complain about the fact that like it's very hard finding teams.
Yeah.
It's very hard finding people that are like, you know, around the same rank. And it like I feel like also like people think that they're entitled to being on a good team.
Yeah.
And they don't realize how often, like, I don't know about you, but like you have to play with like everybody to like, or any type of team to get your name out there, really.
Yep. Yeah, that's always been a problem. Like, there's no set place to go look for a team where everyone is going to look. It's just kind of, it's disheartening to say that you kind of have to get lucky in a way to get on a
No.
Yeah, it is, but it's like, it's a shame that it's kind of like that. Like, there's no set place to go find everything. I think I swear they used to have a Discord server like that, to find everything. Because didn't they have like...
Talking about Academy?
Yeah, Academy, I think was the one. But that kind of died off a bit.
It's still there.
But yeah, it's always been a tough one. It kind of depends what region you're in. Because like for my region, sometimes I get some Australian players pop in and want to get into competitive, but they've got no clue where to look. They've just been on Twitch watching
where to look and where to go
play and think that no one from Australia plays the game. So I had to direct a couple people to like our one big server that we have where you kind of look for a team. Oh, we have a DC. That's great.
Yeah, I was wondering what was happening, but yeah, that's why.
So I think that's always been a bit of a problem. I don't know. I don't think America or like different countries have their own server, do they? I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, we have like orgs and stuff like that. So, like, I mean, Academy was technically created by like Americans. I think FLC had a hand in that also, but I don't know. It's like I think most of everything is done through Discord, and that's really probably the biggest issue. Whereas if there was like a forum, it might be a little bit easier.
Yeah. I think we might be losing this one. Maybe.
Oh no. We were losing once we lost our teammate.
There's definitely still hope, I reckon.
Went with Hydra and Mini no other weapon. Nah, it's not the same thing of what I'm talking about. Like, there are people, say for instance, there are some people that will be like, they only want to use like one weapon and that's really it. Like on a competitive team, you're playing with like 4 other people. Like, you can't be selfish like that.
Yeah.
That's the issue. So, and like, I'm not one of those people that's saying that like, yo, if like your weapon's not meta, but if you're trying to be with 4 other people, like, and you can't like at least try something else. So like, say for instance, like if you're a Splatling player and you won't play Remix or learn Remix, you're just hurting your team.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to force Hydra the whole entire time or trying to force E-Leader the whole entire time. Like, there are other weapons that work for these modes. It doesn't have to be like, you know, everything's cut and paste, but yeah. So yeah, branching out is one of the good things. Like when I played snipers back in Splat 1, I played all snipers. I didn't just play E-Leader.
Oh, I thought I was almost clutching that. I almost had 3. But then we have to get to the other side of the map.
I couldn't get away from that.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, so as I said, like I just want to make sure I can help the competitive scene as much as I possibly can. And I think that the best way at this point, I actually do agree with Dude, is that content is the only way to make bring more eyes onto it.
Yep.
At this point, I don't think throwing tournaments, having big like money, like, you know, will not like get more people into this game. The only thing that will get people into this game is showing them how fun this game actually is.
Yep.
And getting more people to join in and seeing that like competitive is like obtainable. So little things like that, you know, not anything major, just little things like that.
Yep. We'll probably do this last one, then I'm gonna have to head off.
Oh, you done already?
I mean, I did like an hour with Dude.
I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. I'm joking with you. It's all good. It's all good. I'm still gonna be streaming.
Yeah. How long have you been going for? Did you start with the podcast?
Yeah, I started with the podcast, so I've been on for 3 hours, about to be 4.
Yep. Excellent. How's that been going for you with the podcast? What do you
the
got?
podcast?
Yeah,
it's been going
how many
well.
have you done so far?
4.
Solid.
Yeah, 4 of them.
Yep.
So technically, I have like multiple podcasts, so like where I do the interviews, but 4 podcasts with like the crew. And yeah, so that's what like been the biggest focus is, like just trying to do as much as I possibly can.
Yep.
The podcast is nice because it's like passive like content.
Yep.
And has done really well for like my Twitch streams. So yeah.
Yeah, it's what you want.
That's it, man.
Different forms of content. Are you planning on like expanding, like getting different people on in the future?
I was talking about this earlier. Not really. I kind of want it to be about the core.
Yep.
And that's really it. I want us to have as much as chemistry as possible before we start inviting people on, and that's really the most important thing to me right now.
Yep. Do you reckon that'll you'll stick with that into Splatoon 3?
What, the podcast? Yeah. I love podcasting, so even if like, you know, somebody has to like move on, I'll still be doing it. So yeah,
I could see that like getting, I wouldn't say huge, but like have some good what's the word I'm looking for?
Traction.
Yeah, traction. That's a good word. Especially when Splatoon 3 comes out and you get like all the updates and whatnot. Because, you know, right now I'm sure you have ideas for now, but as you start getting like more into it with little Splatoon news, when Splatoon 3 comes out, I think.
Oh no, my like, as I said, I am not.
Is it mainly just Splatoon?
I'm not worried.
Do you like talk about like a lot of other
like we talk? So like we'll talk about like little like Nintendo things.
Yep.
So say for instance, if something, I was about to say, if something comes up, then we'll talk about it.
Yep.
Oh my god. I can't with these guys. This Junior is actually like extremely laggy. But yeah, so like say for instance, I'm not worried about that. I can make a topic out of anything. Yep. So I like, even now, like I have never feared running out of topics.
Yep.
Oh, thank God. They were actually in the plain existence of being killed. There we go. Nice. Yo, Sneasel, what's going on? But yeah, so like I'm never worried about like, you know, having topics and like what to talk about, because there's always something. Yep. Twitter. Like I'll tell you right now, as a content creator, make Twitter your friend.
Yep.
You don't have to talk about drama all the time, but like say for instance, I'm always willing to talk about like, you know, topics that are come up on Twitter. Like my past 2 videos, sometimes a lot of my videos are from like, you know, Twitter topics.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what makes it manageable in my opinion.
Yep.
Hold on. Are we making this? Yes, we are.
Nice.
Come on. There you go.
See if I can put all these 9 times in.
Nice. Nah, yeah. So, like, as I said, it's yeah, Twitter to me is the best app. Like, I tell people this all the time that Twitter is the #1 app on this planet. And literally, if you want to make a whole YouTube channel on Twitter, you can. Say for instance, just looking at like Splatoon Twitter,
yep.
I can come up with, if I really wanted to, I can come up with a new, like, not even new topic, multiple topics a week because of Splatoon Twitter.
Yeah.
There are a lot of content creators that just do that, even like with the Smash community, with like whatever. You can if you want it to be wholesome, you can just have, like, you know, what tournaments happened, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And those little things make, like, you know, a huge difference. Why would you even think that would, like, kill me? Oh, that would kill me.
Maybe that could be a good YouTube idea, you know, just talking about that kind of stuff, because I don't think any of that stuff is out there.
Makes it to Twitter? Nope, it doesn't. A lot of Splatoon stuff is just, like, into the void.
Yeah.
And it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
See, this is what makes me question, like, Splatoon. Because why is KG on the other side of the map and doesn't place a beacon?
True.
See, this is stuff that, like the thought processes that go through people's heads, like, just, like, make my mind just go.
Yep.
And I'm just like, bro, why? So whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know when you need to go. I don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, we could probably finish it up there.
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good having you on. Thank you very much for joining me.
Yo, no problem.
And not 100% sure when the next one will be, but we'll definitely have someone at some time.
Cool.
That's always exciting.
Cool, man. Cool. All right.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right.
Catch you later.
Yeah. See ya. Thank you again. And
no problem.
have a good night streaming.
All right. You too.
All right, gotcha.